Are you the one who starts the best conversations on Facebook, WhatsApp, or in the group chat? If so, this is the podcast for you. Hi, I'm Eva.
And I'm Don, and welcome to Chat and Bother. This is a 15-minute podcast where we start conversations and you and your circle finish them. So go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family member so they can listen to it and you can talk about it together.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So last night my son was asking for movie recommendations. I couldn't really come up with anything. He likes to watch movies from the 90s, 2000s, because I guess it makes him feel like he can connect with the era that brought us up. I'm not 100% sure, but he wants an old movie. You would think, okay, it's older. It was from a more innocent time. Okay. I chose White Men Can't Jump.
Why'd you do that?
From the beginning, the wardrobe choices were a problem. It was just a lot. We found a different movie. What did we pick after that?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And I warned him there's some crude scenes. Because again, I don't remember how I felt watching these things because I wasn't a parent.
Right.
So seeing it now as a parent, I'm like, I want to cover their eyes. I want to be like, pause it and say, that is inappropriate. Make sure you don't say that. And they're like, Mom, I know, it's from the olden days. Okay, first of all, it's not the olden days.
Or they think everything was in black and white.
Yeah,
TV.
they asked, did we live in black and white? Sir, no. So anyway, how do you manage just watching shows from the 90s? We have a hard time with a lot of the inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
And even the kids have a problem with those jokes because kids don't, even if they do talk like that now, it's not acceptable like it was back then.
I would say a lot of what we saw and was acceptable back then is just astonishing to them. Guys wearing bike shorts, for example.
And they're not riding a bike. They're just in the streets.
Playing basketball.
With bike shorts on. Because for them, bicycle shorts are for cycling.
Right.
And I don't think that's coming back. While the 90s has come back with a vengeance, that's not coming back. Besides the fashion, we were watching Living Single last night.
Right.
And they joked about, it's not a thing.
Right.
How old were we when that came out? We might have been in college.
We were late high school, early college.
But we didn't think about those things.
Yeah.
We didn't think about the words that we said. There would be like a lot of homophobic jokes.
Oh, absolutely.
The kids are appalled because they're like, that's not what you're supposed to say. Things about consent. Steve Urkel, that whole thing is sexual harassment for seasons upon seasons.
Yep.
If someone did that to our kid, it would not be, go home, Steve. It would be like,
I am a cop, Steve.
Right. I am going to call the FBI, Steve. You're going to be reported, Steve. Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you took out everything that was inappropriate, socially inappropriate, I don't want to even say politically correct or politically incorrect because it's not politics. It's social. If you're saying it's things that just shouldn't happen, his girlfriend was interchangeable. Like she could have been anybody. She had the personality of a pear.
wait. A pear?
Or some other fruit.
Is a pear just now the nondescript fruit out there?
I mean, you have to do a lot to a pear to really dress that bad boy up. But she was not a round character. The only female character that had any depth to her at all was the sister.
Yeah.
And she was terrible. There were so many stereotypes, like the dancing scene in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
All of the black people were dancing together. And then all of the white people were dancing together. Things that I never would have noticed back then. It's painfully obvious now.
Now, speaking of things that you notice versus things that the kids notice, my kids have ruined some of my childhood favorites. I wanted them to see Knight Rider, A-Team, all of my classic favorite shows. I wanted them to experience it and love it. I sit the kids down one day and was like, oh man, we're going to watch Knight Rider. This is going to be great. The music is going on in my head like all of that. I don't think we were 20 seconds into the episode, and Eden points out the fact that there's a guy with a seat costume controlling the car. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? No, it's not. This is Knight Rider. This is an automatically controlled car. She says, pause it. Look at it. You can see his hands right there. I am appalled, and I am just my childhood.
How many more episodes did they watch after that? Like, I think it was like one.
David watched more because he loves cars, and the car was always.
I feel like Eden just left the room.
She left the room. She was like, I think she started knitting or something after that. Like she was,
and she couldn't have been more than maybe 8 or 9.
I'm like, how do you just ruin my childhood with one comment?
But we didn't even notice. I watched seasons with an S of that show
because I wanted there to be something, and she took that from me.
Well, somebody's still bitter.
I'm not bitter. Somebody's
still bitter. But they never liked anything I liked either. So far, I told Eden she could watch Girlfriends. I think that's early 2000s. And she has so many critiques. Started with she was like, ooh, the episode, the intro music, that's cringy. What kind of dance are they doing? What is the slow motion dancing that they're doing at the beginning of this? Girl, the episode, we're on the pilot. The thing hasn't even started yet. And you've got problems with the people's show. Living Single. What problems did they have with Living Single?
They don't mind Living Single. I think one of them likes Living Single.
What about Martin?
Martin, they love Martin.
Most of the time, it's me saying to myself, and I can't even say, how did my parents let me watch this? Because we are Gen Xers and our parents were too busy to think about those things.
True.
They were like, are they bothering me? No. Okay, they're right there where I left them, staring at the TV. My mom called it the idiot box. Staring at the idiot box. Now, I think that we take our children's entertainment and how they spend their time more seriously.
Right.
Like TV went off at some point.
Right.
TV does not end.
The national anthem will come on and that's it.
Or good TV went off. Mutual of Omaha's Wild King. All right, I'm cutting the TV off.
Infomercial sessions start coming
Yes. 8-track tape or cassette.
How much would you pay for this?
Yeah. Listen, for me, it was that 8-track tape or cassette. If I opened my eyes and heard 8-track tape or cassette, I have left my TV on too long and it's time to cut it off. What TV shows do you think we need them to watch and movies they need to watch? I know Trading Places needs to be on the list because our kids are 16 and 17 now, soon to be 17 and 18.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff, we were their age when we saw it. Now, that's another thing. My parents let us watch some stuff. I don't think we were censored very much at all. National Lampoon's Vacation, I shouldn't have seen any of those.
You were rocking with Clark Griswold.
Yeah, like the Griswold. I shouldn't have seen any of that. And we saw them in the theater.
Oh, word.
Yes, they took us to the movies to see that.
Nah, it was bootleg cable that we had. So.
Oh, y'all had cable.
I mean, free trials. We got the free trial. And we had the box just sitting there. You remember the box when you press down the button?
No, I don't remember the box, Don. We did not have cable.
You didn't have friends that had cable?
We didn't have anything.
You grew up in the South. You didn't have a neighbor that had one of them big old satellite dishes?
Our closest neighbor had cows.
I forgot about the horses.
We could not pick up their signal. Okay? I have no idea why you bring up old stuff.
My bad.
You know when my parents got cable? Do y'all want to know?
No.
I'm going to say it. They got cable the day I graduated from high school and was leaving for college. I was packed up. All of my stuff packed up. And I see the little cable truck coming up the driveway. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm going to tell you, I propped my eyes open to watch everything I could possibly watch before I left the house. 17 years you could have got cable. And you wait till the day. So yes, I grew up with 3 channels and public television.
But did you use the wrench to turn the thing though?
No, no. We had a knife. There was a knife that you put in the back
in the slot,
to get better reception. Because again, we're in the woods, so to get better reception, you just put that butter knife in the back, and boost the signal a little bit. You know, we had video store memberships. So I did see a lot of movies.
Kids call them box tapes.
Box tapes. I did have a lot of box tapes. This is something that is different about us than my parents, because they sure would have 2 VCRs. And before we return them movies,
make a copy.
You got to dub that bad boy, don't you? Look, I paid for this.
Play on that one and
Press
record on this one
that
at the same time.
At the same time and make it happen. So we ain't never rent nothing twice.
Ooh, the statute of limitations, right?
I hope the statute of limitations is expired. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I guess y'all, they would have to find them. There was a different moral code in the 90s, it feels like. So what have you learned sitting and watching 90s TV and movies with the kids?
Aside from the fact that fashion is coming back that I thought was dead, I mean, ripped jeans, there's really not a whole lot of new stuff. I mean, the plots are the same on a lot of these movies back then as they are today. They just have better special effects. And the kids look at the special effects that we have and they're like, oh, this is not so special. Like, what is that?
They didn't hate Gremlins, which was surprising because those are actually puppets, with a hand in them.
Right.
What special effects did they not?
They love The Matrix.
Yeah, The Matrix, but
But that was turn of this. That was.
Ooh, you almost said turn of the century.
Yeah, I couldn't finish.
You know what they say? You know the late 1900s. Yes.
That gives me like horse-drawn carriage. But I guess in that century, I mean, we really did go from horse-drawn carriage to Teslas.
It was fast. Well, I learned that I am a lot more conservative than my parents were.
When you become a parent, you start to think different.
Yeah. I think that for some people, it's freeing. They say, I don't want the same kind of restrictions that my parents put on me.
Yeah.
However, we don't live in the same time that our parents raised us in.
Right.
If you don't put some sort of guardrails around the kids, they have access to the entire world.
Right.
And the entire world has access to them. We didn't grow up with that. It came out the box. We put nothing in the box.
Nope.
That was it.
The other thing is like situational awareness is different these days because they have seen so many different situations. They are seeing things happen in other countries and they can learn lessons from those things. But that also means that some people learn how to do things better, to be better criminals, to be better at pulling off things that they shouldn't have pulled off. Now you have to be more aware and our kids have to have a heightened awareness. And our parents would let us roam around the city without too much concern for the things that they didn't know were waiting for us out there.
That's true. Like we now know 2 streets over, there was a kidnapping. You wouldn't know that unless you watched the news at 6, the news at 11. Now it is instant. These kids instantly know what's happening at their school, around their school. On the 90s, TV shows and movies, bullying was like normal and funny.
Yeah, it's part of what happened.
And for our kids, they're like, that's horrible. Why would someone say that? Why would someone do that? Why is there a laugh track set to this kid being put in the garbage can?
Or swirly.
It's Saved by the Bell. I'm realizing I think there's actually a website dedicated to this. Zach was a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Like he was terrible. Everything he did was terrible. Entitled and manipulative. There was a lot of fraud. Consent was just not a thing. And then Screech, his whole existence on the show was to be the subject of bullying.
Yeah.
You don't have shows like that now, which is great. A lot of the children don't accept it, not personally and not on TV. I do feel like the new generation of creators who make content, who make movies, who are going to make our next set of television shows, they're going to have to be more creative. They're going to have to go outside of the standard TV and movie tropes. And I think it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Could be. You want to watch people get bullied?
I mean, I think there's some character building that happens in that.
Now, there might be some ridiculousness because bullying is not dead, even though there might not be as much of it. Whenever it does happen, it's very severe and can be very, very dangerous in a way that I don't think it was when we were growing up. Because when you went home, your bully didn't come with you.
Right. It wasn't on
Your
the thing that you carry everywhere you go.
In your pocket. Your bully was at the school and you dealt with them when you went to school and then you went home and you were relatively safe.
You knew when he got on the bus and you knew when he got out the bus.
Yes. I think that it's definitely more severe and the entertainment has reflected that and has been realistic about that. So, yes, they're appalled by 90s acceptable bullying.
Do you think that like the heroes and heroines in the movies and shows that you show the kids, we were enamored with some of these people? And
The greatest American hero? Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free, hee hee.
I don't want that song to be
Flying away. On a wing.
and a prayer.
Who could it be?
Just me?
No, you didn't get the lyric right.
Oh, come on.
Believe it or not, it's just me. You know what? I wonder how much of that stuff that we watched is still in our minds like that.
I mean, we're going to have to talk about jingles buried in my brain, and I hear a piece of it.
And you're triggered to go directly to the grocery store.
Right.
You guys, there are Pop-Tarts in my cabinet, but we're going to talk about that on another day. We're going to talk about that
I think we got to go. I got to go to work.
And I got to go to work, but there's still Pop-Tarts in my cabinet. We're going to talk about it.
Blueberry.
Blueberry Pop-Tarts, y'all. I am disgusted. I am disgusted. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for Chat and Bother. Go ahead and like our Facebook page and share this episode with people that you want to chat with or just feel like bothering, or both. Visit our website, chatandbother.com, for our episode guide and other ways to connect with us. Take care.